Hey, Dragon Dreamers, Gina Virginia Casella here, and today already is our live pre-hangout. We've got a virtual vendor with us, Suze Gallagher, behind the scenes. I'm really excited about tomorrow. Would absolutely love to hear in the comments lots of things, what you're looking forward to about this conference, and most of all, why it's important for you to attend a conference like this. What drew you to the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective? We're your soul tribe, and we've awaited for you. Those of you not familiar with me, my name is Gina Virginia Casella, a spiritual biz entrepreneur, visionary, and the one behind the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. I have a little video here to show you, and I'm going to pull that up right now. Hope you enjoy it. Let me remove myself from the screen. Hey, Dragon Dreamers. Gina Virginia Casella here, and the one behind the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. Come dream with us. Your soul tribe awaits you. I do all kinds of things. Gemstone readings, mind reprogramming, energy medicine. At this time in my life, I've been redirected by Source to bring us together. The Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective through an umbrella term called Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness. You're invited to dream with us. Through dreams half remembered and half misunderstood, we fill in the gaps for each other because we're all one. There's all kinds of times and dates lined up that I would absolutely adore for you to be a part of. And one of my favorite things to do is to assert that the Akashic records are not a permanent record because your past never defines you. And we can do what's called living consciously so we can die consciously. United are we. Be free. Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective awaits you. Dream with us. My name is Gina Virginia Casella, creator and visionary of Project 30, Isis Unity Consciousness. See you in dreams. That's right, everybody. See you in dreams, which is this reality right now, right? Which brings me to my next slide. I want to show you a slide here before I bring Sue to the stage. In theory, I'm organized and I got it all sorted out right here. So Suze is actually a 2-in-1. Oh, let me remove this video here. Suze is a 2-in-1 because she is one of our vendors and also one of our dragon speakers. And so if you caught me the other week on Story Species, Story Medicine, Suze was one of our guests, and we're celebrating her book, The Little Ones, and it's more than 25 years now, 25 anniversaries, and there's actually a second volume that is anticipated to come out in March, and it's March now, so we'll check in with Sue, the update on that. I've got Sue's website up ready to show you and to explore. But let me read this slide here first to you. Each presenter at the conference, they have a certain timestamp. Suze is going to be filling in for John Whitberg. So he'll reschedule with us. And it worked out for Sue because I said to her, you know, I'm already full this round. So why don't I put you on the list so the next conference you can be a speaker? And then when John told me he wouldn't be able to make it, it really worked out that Suze was able to take his spot. So this is what Sue's presentation is going to be about. I just love the title, Dreaming Ourselves Awake answering the invitation. And so Sue's description for her presentation: ancient cultures believed that we dream our lives into existence. Dreams offer a portal to awakening. However, it is up to us to answer the invitation. Dreams have been a powerful tool in my personal awakening by lightening my path, fostering courage, guiding me through the living labyrinth to discover my life's purpose, becoming an oracle. And that's where Suze and I really connect because, like Suze, I published my own oracle in Season of Dreams 2025, the Dragon Dreams Oracle. Suze is presenting hers in a book style. So what I love about this is you don't have to worry about losing any cards. Everything is in one nice little package here in the book, and you can read it beginning to end, or you can just open up to a random page and read what's there. Read the one page, read the whole special message for the day. So I'm really thankful to have Suze here. I put her description or her link. It's in the description and also in the comments there for you. So you can pick up your copy of the little one. So we've got lots to talk about. I'm not sure how much time Suze has with us today. So let's give her our full attention. It is my absolute pleasure to bring Suze Gallagher to this stage. I got lots of slides here. Really enjoying StreamYard. User friendly. All right, here we are right now. Hi, Suze Gallagher, everybody. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Gina, and all of your followers. So what could be bad about a day like today?
Yes, and today there's lots of hype, and I love your background. I'm curious, is that one that Michael Kopp gave you, or did you find that on your own?
No, I used Canva and did a virtual reality. I said a dragon sleeping on a pillow, dreaming with a full moon behind it. And there you go. So I think that works really well, especially for the topic for tomorrow.
Yes, I absolutely agree. And, I don't know if you know this, but all of my content is merging together, which is why the conference is so important. My books, my oracle, everything. And so I'm looking for as many images as I can get. And what's really fascinating is I have an idea in my head of what things look like, but the reality is my book it's everybody is involved. And so, the other visions and ways and realities that people are envisioning things, it's important for me to see that as well. So I think that's really cool. And the full moon is just around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
The conference is lined up with the spring equinox. I wanted to line it up with the full moon, but this weekend worked better for me than next weekend. So, we were having synchronicity there with the full moon. So, why don't I put it on screen share? Because once Suze and I start chatting, we slip into timelessness. I want to first highlight your website. Okay, in theory, I'm putting it on screen share. Okay, share screen. The entire screen. Okay, come on, computer. All right. Getting some reminders here. All right, so you should be able to see my screen. You should also be able to see me. This is the home page for the Little One Diaries. Home, events, blog, notifications, book online. And I noticed, Suze, that events is empty. So I think Suze is just busy behind the background here, but Suze is going to be presenting tomorrow at the first ever Story Species, Story Medicine, Continuum of Conscious Evolution series, Promise of Spring. I love this picture of the book, the magic coming from it. Suze offers a lot of things. There's lots to click around on. She's got courses on the go. One of the courses actually wrapped up. Let me just show you a little bit more here. So Sue's posts in her blog fairly regularly. The last one was entered on March 2nd. So if you wanted to book, you just click on that. It'll take you to Sue's email. This one here to shop. There you are, copy of the little one's diaries. I've got a soft cover, but there it is, the hardcover option for you by Suze Gallagher. And let me just, there you are. Now I can see you again, Suze. And so I'm wondering, tell us about the second book, because it looks the same, but it has a blue cover.
Correct.
And I'm wondering, is that available now officially for purchase, volume 2?
It is not quite available yet. Rick is, it is at the printer though. So we know that it is on its way. Certainly by the end of March, it will be published and available for sale. And it will also be available on Amazon as well, through my website and on Amazon.
I like shopping from Amazon because a lot of times those who have Amazon Prime, you can pretty much get your order that morning, basically,
Yes.
depending on what it is. So that's fantastic. And I'm wondering, what is so different about volume 1 and volume 2? Is volume 2 like a continuation of volume 1, or is it like a completely different perspective?
No, it's really a continuation of volume 1, with a different, I consider volume 1 not only to be an oracle, but to be a curriculum. And that curriculum continues in volume 2 as I understood more and more. Then the curriculum evolves and gets a little deeper and a little richer.
It's interesting you mentioned that word curriculum, because that's how I interpret the conference series, a continuum of learning. And in my teaching career, we would talk about the continuum of education. And so the conference title is very long, but it's actually, initially, it was like an entire paragraph in length. And the word continuum was one of the words that I really had to insist was part of it, because the curriculum itself is alchemizing.
Yes.
And yet, as it alchemizes, there's these key themes that will always be carried forward. And so somebody who's reading this today in 2026 will totally be able to relate. If somebody picked up this book in like 10,000 years from now, well, yeah, life might look and sound differently, but the core themes in here would still be very much relevant. So I'm wondering, what do you have to say about that? And hi, Anchor Haven, I see you there in the chat.
What I have found is that, as like a true oracle, the truth is the truth is the truth. And what was amazing to me is that one of my first reviewers wrote that as he changed, it was as though the curriculum changed as well. When he would go back and he would read it again, he would find another deeper layer of meaning for him and another more powerful way to apply that teaching to his life.
That's a testament to the value of this book, because it's not just a book, it's an oracle presented in the format of a book. And I feel like, I think this came up during Story Species, Story Medicine. I gave the example of yoga, because when you're reading a book, you might not developmentally and or personal experience wise, be at a place where you can receive information. You may or may not have the clarity, but when you go back and read it, even in years from now, the exact same passage, it's different, even though it's the same thing, because your perspective has changed. There's things that you might have learned. Maybe, you weren't in a place to receive information and now you are. And so it reminded me of yoga, because that's exactly how yoga works, is it's the same moves, but you can always take them deeper, hold the pose longer. And even day by day, depending on how your body is feeling, it really varies, even your balance from left side to right side. Today you might hold the yoga pose, and tomorrow you can't do it if your life depended on it. And I feel like that's the timelessness. That was the word my brain was searching for. Timelessness. A timelessness book that you can pick up and pass down. And it's a nice size physically. When I published my books, I forget offhand like the measurements, but they're about this size. And it was important for me because I wanted people to be able to put it in their pocket, like, their purse or their backpack. I wanted it to physically fit in my hand. I find some of these books are just too big and bulky. And so it's nice to have something that you can literally just grab and go. And I'm not teaching these days, but I could see myself pulling from here, from kindergarten to grade 12. And maybe with the kindergarten, you might have to kind of rephrase some of it. But I thought this would be a really powerful journaling activity for anybody, any age. And children in particular are so influential and arguably easily influenced, which bothers people. So I taught at a public school, so we weren't allowed to talk about spiritualism. We were allowed to talk about Santa Claus and that kind of stuff, but I get it. But this is the kind of thing that, despite spiritualism, it could still fit into the public education lens, is what I'm saying. You wouldn't have to, I don't think you'd have to worry about parents calling the school and complaining, because whether you believe in divas and spirit guides, the message is to believe in yourself and to recognize that you are a child of the universe, and it doesn't matter how old you are, you're a little one, and the profound guidance and learning that comes with it. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that. So for me, this book, I just can't say enough about it. And for those who didn't catch Story Species, Story Medicine, Extra Strength, just check out my playlist. You can find it on my YouTube. It's there. So I can't wait to get my hands on the second one.
Thank you.
And then we'll have to have you back on Story Species, Story Medicine, reading passages from there as well.
Thank you.
Your presentation, Dreaming the World Awake, tell us a little bit about it, because tomorrow you only have so much time to present, right? Then we'll have time for a few Q&As, but in truth, there's really not enough time. So what's something that you would really want to highlight about tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I really want to highlight the importance and the gift that dreams are to us. And that dreams are a living, breathing consciousness. And it's part of, we're hardwired to dream, just as we're hardwired to sleep. And when our body is sleeping, and we spend almost roughly a third of our lives sleeping, during that time, our body is healing and rejuvenating itself, restoring health and balance and well-being. But at the same time, in the background, our conscious mind and our subconscious mind are realigning themselves, and they're communicating in a way that we don't communicate in our conscious waking hours. So it's that communication, that balance. The dream time, we talk in the language of symbols. So so does our subconscious mind. And so when we have this rich dreamscape from which to draw upon, um, it's just the most amazing process. And we are the dreamer. We are the dream. We are every character in the dream. The dream is 100% about us and our experience. It's like having this, well, number one, we're going to night school, right? And that it's free. Um, and you're the only one. It's designed just for you, for your healing, your well being, your growth, um, your freedom and creativity. Everything is there. That power to move forward and to recognize yourself as limitless being. So that's what our dreams do.
Yes, and thank you for that. And honestly, like I love talking about dreams, but I really didn't have time to do that for tomorrow. My focus is going to be about community and sharing a bit of my experiences and making sure the day runs smoothly, which it will. I'm going to Staples to print out some stuff after. But when I saw your description and your title, I thought, whew, thank you, Suze, because it's such a big topic to tackle. And my audience, the Dragon Dreamers, they really range. There's folks like us who we have shamanic training and we're still
Mhm.
learning. And then there's folks who are super well seasoned. I'm not even sure why they're tuning in. I'm very complimented by this. But then there's like a new wave of Dragon Dreamers.
Mhm.
My audience typically ranges from about age 45 to 85, somewhere in there. And I've noticed there's a strong incline of early 20s, even teenagers. And I think it's because people are awakening even younger and younger.
Yes.
And I'm also hopeful that because I'm not a public school teacher anymore, that perhaps it's created a safer space for former students of mine to connect with me in this way,
Mhm.
because we've never connected in this way before under the public education lens, respectively. But something really fascinating is dream symbolism, because we share the same symbols from ancient eons ago. So when people from different parts of the world are having dreams and they don't even know each other, never heard of each other, and then artists are drawing pictures or writing stories, and it's like, hey, wait a minute, that was in my dream. This
Yes.
is quite fascinating. What are your thoughts about that?
I think that we are dreaming one dream as a planet. And that I think that there is a collective dream, and then we are all individual dreamers, and that the energy is of the dream is so powerful. And the more that we are able to bring our dream time dream into our reality, that's how we evoke change on this planet. It's our dreaming mind and our waking dreams then find balance. And I agree with you 100% that my audience, the groups that I teach had been the 40 to 65 age. And now I find that I have much younger people, not high schoolers so much, but late teens moving into their 20s that are awakening so much earlier than I did, than my generation did. And that for me is just so exciting. their ability to relate and know their power. That's the thing. It's the empowerment, the personal, the authentic personal power that is so immense, and it's innate in all of us. We just have to awaken to avail ourselves of that power.
Absolutely. And you know what? Um, I feel like just the very conversation of hopes and dreams, peace on earth, those
Mm-hmm.
kind of conversations, they've always been relevant. But we've had like World War I, World War II, the Confederation when Canada was first being established. That in itself, arguably, was a war. But I feel like all people really know is war, 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 war. And it's so familiar to us. And what's familiar keeps us safe. So now we get into the rules of the mind. But for what it's worth, students who are graduating high school these days, what employment opportunities are available to them? And I feel concerned because a lot of folks are signing up to go into the military because they feel like, well, you get education, you might as well serve your country. But there's also a lot of folks out there who are taking a step back and saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, why do I even need this training? What am I getting involved in here? Let's dial it back and find other ways. And there's a, like, you know, that tarot card, the tower comes crumbling down. I
Yeah.
feel like that's where we're at internationally as a global community,
Mm-hmm.
because our tower is crumbling down. Arguably, it's already down, but we're insisting it's up. And it's time to rebuild. And the children are the future, who arguably it's the ancient past coming back now.
Yeah.
and and this is all part of dreaming the world into being and alchemizing. We are the old people, we are the new people, we're the same people, wiser than before. So it's kind of weird to turn to youth, but in truth, youth are being alchemized in a way in the life between life death cycle. I'm not sure. And that's the thing. I'm humble enough to admit that I really don't know the answers here. But there's a new wave of people who desire to live consciously so they can die consciously. And I take it a step further to say dream consciously.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that appeals to a lot of people. You don't have to live in survival mode. There's a lot of scientists who are very hung up on their theories. They had like 30, 40-year careers. They are not interested in changing their research. Well, you know what? Somebody's going to have the courage to start speaking the truth and not hiding the truth, because the youth, the new generation, I feel like they're going to be moving forward with or without us, despite what theories are being presented. And I'm just kind of ranting on now because I'm passionate. But, you know, I read some of Freud, specifically his work about dreams, and I was surprised that he was admitting that his colleagues made fun of him. And it's just really ironic, bizarre to think of somebody like Sigmund Freud being made fun of for talking about dreams.
Right.
Like, dreams go back to ancient Egyptians, you know, like everybody dreams, even animals dream.
Right.
And that's an interesting conversation too. Are animals dreaming the world into being? Like, now you just got my wheels turning here, right? But why don't I let you chime in before I go on? Any thoughts to add, Suze?
Well, I initially mentioned that I believe that dreams are alive, that they are a living consciousness, and they live within us. And the dreams continue. The dreams continue after we're gone. The dreams, the dreams, I believe, represent the vital creative impulse of the universe. And they create in us the change that we need in the world, and the change that we need personally in ourselves. there are people who argue, well, I don't remember my dreams. And that's fine. Or my sister who says that she doesn't dream um, and never remembers anything. And, part of me is like, oh, I'm so sorry because my dream life has always been just so rich and so amazing. But we have to dream. It's, we, we, our bodies have to go through that process. And dreaming is such an important part of our existence, our physical existence, our emotional, mental, and spiritual existence, that they're called God's forgotten language. So it is this, they have been revered as sacred throughout history. And even though we don't recall our dreams, our body records our dreams. Our body encodes them into our DNA. They become an essential aspect of who and how we relate to the world, to each other, and to Source.
I like how you explained that. That was really well presented. And something I appreciate too is the dream analysis that we do. For example, if somebody has a dream about a chipmunk, they're quick to hop on Google chipmunk. What do dreams about chipmunks mean? But really, before you do that, you have to ask yourself, okay, so if I had a dream about a chipmunk, I'm the chipmunk, right? If I was running away from a fox who wanted to gobble me up, well, in the dream, I'm also the fox.
Exactly.
So what am I running away from? It's really digging deep here. And then I always recommend to people to even consider the weather. Like, is the sky and the water in your dream the same color? Because that could represent the conscious mind, subconscious mind being in unison. Whereas if it doesn't match, it could and this is all personalized, but then you can take it to the collective level too. And speaking of the weather, in dreams, often we're like, okay, I'm going to go to sleep tonight and I want to have a dream where I meet somebody and I talk to them. But it's like, you could talk to the tree or the rock in your dream. It doesn't have to have eyeballs or a beating heart in the traditional sense. And even under hypnosis, talking to the kitchen table, the kitchen chairs, because they have consciousness too, and they have dreams. Just like my gemstones, I learned that's where dreaming with gemstone Gina, that because they're dreaming away too. So I find this really fascinating. Any thoughts from you, Suze?
I absolutely concur that everything has consciousness and that everything dreams, and that everything records memories. That chair has a history. That chair has a story to tell. And there are stories within the stories within the stories. I love how you explain that interaction in the dream, because we are every character. We are the sky, we are the weather. When I'm working with a dream, I notice, am I inside or outside? Is it light or dark? What am I wearing? If I'm wearing a coat, does it have a pocket? What's in the pocket? So we might just have a dream snippet, but that dream snippet is so rich. That in itself is this treasure chest. And engage in conversations. Even though I am the chipmunk, I can engage that chipmunk in conversation. And the fox. And what's that dynamic? How am I both of these? How am I the predator and the prey? And what is that dynamic going on? So that's so fun though. And it's like playing a game of charades. What does it sound like? What does it look like? What does it taste like? You know,
When you're going like this, I see you like competitive at home with charades. Are you competitive, Suze?
I'm really not. I'm very expressive, but I don't consider myself to be competitive. But
Game night at the Gallagher's, I can see
yeah.
Suze. All right, 2 words. It sounds
Oh,
like this.
well, that's true. Game night at the Gallagher's, it's so funny because the kids won't let Rick and I be on the same team. We were playing Pictionary one night. This is a true story. And he put one line on the paper, and I said Noah's Ark. And that's what it was. That's what happens when two intuitives play together.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you two on the same team either. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Um, Something else you said, and those of you who are tuning in, we're just hanging out, live hangout. Suze Gallagher is a virtual vendor and going to be speaking tomorrow. So I'm going to highlight other stuff about the conference, but want to give Sue all the attention right now. Something else you said, you are the dreamer, you're the dream, you're the dreaming. It reminded me of the triangle of disempowerment, because we're not the triangle of disempowerment. The conscious mind requires a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end. The subconscious mind doesn't understand beginning, middle, end. It's just here's all the information, which is overwhelming. So the triangle of disempowerment, that's, you have your good guy, the bad guy, and then of course you have the person who's being victimized. Well, why don't we do away with that? Because in order to have the triangle, you need all three of those roles. Well, why don't we replace that with the dream, the dreamer, and the dreaming? Like, to me, this is a eagle condor medicine where you alchemize and rise above from the triangle of disempowerment. And the triangle is the strongest structure, right? Your equilateral triangle. But I like to work with metaphors, and I see this equilateral triangle morphing into the isosceles triangle, where it's got like, I taught a lot of kindergarten, so isosceles is two lines are the same, so my arms are the same, and it's like I dive forward, and that's the transformation. But then also you've got your scalene triangle, three different sides, and the scalene triangle is totally not a strong structure. It could be easily squashed. So it's worth noting that the triangle, any triangle, is the equilateral triangle, and any theme that you attach to it is pretty intense, hardwired, and hard to break. And taking the first step in anything is the hardest step. So if you can, even though it's not a circle shape, if you see time as triangular in this example, you don't have to keep repeating that pattern. You can break away, and then now you've got your spiral. So that was really powerful to me. Any thoughts on that?
Well, yes. I see it as a triangle that opens. So what we have is a container, a vessel, where it does alchemize. So we have a triangle, but then this and this can come open. And what we have here is a container for the infinite possibilities that we are. So this just keeps moving. They're not attached. Dreams morph and change and grow. And so that's how I see it. I see it as these points. And then I see like a Hoberman square almost that opens. They're based on a geometric form of the triangle, right? But then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. and it contains everything. And that's what I believe dreams are. Dreams dream us just as we dream them, and then we dream each other, and we have this shared collective dream. And I believe that that is how we evolve.
Yeah, everything you said resonates with me. I wrote another point too here, Mother Teresa, because I don't remember the quote exactly, but she said something years ago like, if you want to help the world, help yourself. If you want to save the world, go home and start there in your own home, in your own community. And when you were talking earlier about the dream landscape and how everything is shared, a lot of us, um, we tend to hop into other people's dreams when really we need to dial it back and always focus on ourselves, thyself. And it's not selfish or anything like that, because we really need to know who we are before we can really know anybody else. And if we want to help anybody, well, really, we need to start with the people around us in order to make change. And I feel like, we can't control the world around us, that if we wanted to work towards a greater change, well, we start with ourselves. And then we influence in a positive way other people around us. And for me, that's how we create change. That's how we can take control. I don't like to say take control, but take charge, if you will, of the greater themes and where we're going as a collective alchemical consciousness. I find that really fascinating. So, picked that up somewhere in my teenager years. Um, Help those at home first. And, anyways, any thoughts about that?
Yes. Uh, I I have always called that trespassing. And that that's where we need our boundaries. That's where we need to bring it home and keep looking at ourselves, not looking at somebody else, um, not projecting out onto other people, not attributing motives to other people. And I think that that's a really big deal. I think it's such a big deal that when I look at the Lord's Prayer, the Our Father, I was raised Catholic. So the prayer that we learned contains the phrase, forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Now, Jesus gave us this prayer. He didn't say, don't lie, don't cheat, don't fornicate, don't commit adultery. He said, don't trespass. And what is trespassing? But going where we have no authority to go. The only place we have authority is in our own space, in our own heart, doing our own work. And so it's owning our authority that is so powerful, and that's what dream work will do as well, because we are bringing it all home so that we can alchemize, so that we can be our truest, purest, most authentic self. And that's where the soul work begins.
That was beautifully expressed. And you know what? It made me think about atonement with the Father. So there's activities you can do where you see people as regular other people, right? So when it comes to your parents, a lot of us don't see our parents as regular people. And those of us with children, we don't see our children as adults. They're always going to be a kid. And so we have these ideas, pre-programming, subconscious programming that we're born into. So like there's trespassing going on basically from the moment we're conceived, and then it's extra trespassing when we're born into a family. So myself too, raised Roman Catholic. So at some point my parents needed to back off and let me explore and investigate other things, religion, spirituality, politics, and let me reach my own conclusions. Um, so, so trespassing, it doesn't always mean like something that's super violent. It could just mean something like, forgive me for trespassing because maybe I was that parent that, you know, I was a football star and it was really important for me, for my kids to be involved in football. But now I realize they're not into that kind of stuff at all. I was trespassing. And so this, so to me, it's really powerful, just like this book, because you can take that teaching and its timelessness time and time again, you can continue to apply it. So that was really cool. And even like thy kingdom come, thy will be done, like this is the kingdom here that we're all a part of. And I get excited because I think about like the gnome kingdom and also the mycelium kingdom, which predates the plant and tree kingdom. So there's like these lineages that we come from, and you might not have considered a rock or a plant or a mushroom or tree as one of your ancestors, but they are in truth. It's just a different formula, a different representation. And it's interesting why some are sleeping, if you will. Yeah, I don't know. I find this very fascinating. Any thoughts from you, Suze?
I agree. I just, the wisdom that surrounds us, the life that surrounds us, is when we really stop to think and appreciate and take a step back from our conditioning of human dominance and recognize the wisdom that exists in in every cell, every breath, everything. It's transcendent is the only word that I can come up with. It's just mind blowing and fabulous and magnificent. And
Yeah, it really leaves you speechless when you start diving into these conversations. And you know, I mean, we've been chatting for almost an hour now, so it's too easy for Susan and I to slip into timelessness. And tomorrow we have a structured day. I mean, the presenters have a maximum of 35 minutes, and that's it. So so I'm glad that we had today just to, you know, promote your book a little bit, honor you as a vendor, but also have this little side conversation. Because the other presenters, they don't have this opportunity. It worked out because you're a vendor. And then John Whitberg had to back out this round. And then Suze was able to thankfully step in. So you don't have to worry about getting a double dose of me, Dragon Dreamers. I said that if somebody can't make it, I'm going to be the backup presenter. So I'm really thankful that you were able to step in. And Sue's husband, Rick Gallagher, is going to be performing some singing bowls for us. And so at the live tech rehearsal, we tested all of it out. Rick was dinging, danging, and swirling things. And we had Julia Ankerhaven in the chat, making sure we could hear it. So I'm feeling really good about tomorrow. Behind the scenes, I'm going to create some videos today. But first, I will print out some stuff from Staples, and then I'm really going to enjoy myself just going over my speech and my key points that I want to make. I'm looking forward to the opening ceremony tomorrow is something I'm looking forward to. I have a schedule here that I'm going to go over, but how much time do you have left, Sue? Do you have to head out in the next few minutes, or do you have another half hour?
I can hang out for a couple more minutes. I have
Okay.
a 12 o'clock, so.
No worries. No worries. I let people know. I'm like, I don't know how long Suze will be able to hang out with us. Well, let's keep focusing on you then. So tomorrow, you're aware of the schedule. We're going to
Yes.
kick it off with some sound bowls. At some point, I'm going to open sacred space. We're going to light our candles. Presenters are going to present. Um, we were supposed to have an Elvis impersonator entertain us on the breaks, but he's had to reschedule. So I'm gonna make little videos about my gemstones. People are interested. Like, what's that one mean? So I figure make a
Yes.
little video about that.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, the day's going to be over. I'm going to be closing sacred space. What are you looking forward to tomorrow the most?
I am looking forward to everything about tomorrow. I think tomorrow is a very important day for a lot of reasons. And um, I think that the word that keeps coming to my mind is alchemy. And I really, that's not a word I use lightly, because for me, that is a primal sacred process, that is, it's something that Source gave us, um, gave us the power to create the conditions, and then the alchemy happens in and of itself. And that swirling power and the energy that is released from that is something that we cannot even begin to fathom. You know, taking the idea of turning lead into gold, or, I mean, that's not even an aspect of what the power of this transformation is. And I believe that you stepping out to do this has already created that a vortex of that energy moving and moving and moving. And I'm thrilled to be part of this. And I'm thrilled also to be a witness to to the unleashing of this healing energy, this global energy. And um, I feel that it's already begun, that it is just already begun in each of us, and in each of us that are going to bear witness to this and participate. But then it's just like those ripples keep going out and out and out and out and out. So I know I move my hands a lot, but there's just magnificent. And so I'm looking forward to everything, and how it evolves is going to be absolutely perfect.
Yes, thank you for saying all of that. I'm super excited about tomorrow too. I don't know what part I'm looking forward to the most, but honestly, I think that moment where we light our candles, like this, I don't know for me. Um, behind the scenes, I've attended my own webinars and whatnot, and some people do that. They invite everybody at the same time, and that always resonated with me. And then it's like you have a little spirit flame with you for the day or
Mhm.
something, and so that's really awesome. Well, thank you so much, Suze, for
My
joining us
pleasure.
live today. I've got Suze's information there, the little one diaries.com. Make sure you pick up her book, Volume 2. It's coming out very soon. It's got a blue cover, and it's a continuation from Volume 1. I absolutely love it. You can read it cover to cover, or you can just pick it up randomly. And if you didn't catch my comment earlier, this book is kind of like yoga. You can read the same page over again, and it'll give you a different meaning. And so it's a timelessness type of book slash oracle that you can keep coming back to year after year. And it'd be really cool if you let Susan I know in the comments how this book is helping you, or if you recommended it to somebody and now they're saying that it's helping them in life. We would really love to know about it. And Sue's website, you can book sessions with her. She's got a blog on the go. So make sure you check out Sue's. Suze, thank you so, so much for being live here today. I'm not logging off, just saying goodbye to Suze. And Suze, I'll see you tomorrow. So I'm really excited about that. I talk with my hands too. I think it's just part of our energy, free will here going on. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to remove Suze from the stage. There we are. All right. So lots to look forward to tomorrow, Dragon Dreamers. Let me show you the schedule here. This is set in stone, by the way, and nothing's going to stop us unless there's some national power outage or something like that. But as you can see on the screen, 8 a.m., I'm going to be live. So tomorrow, 8 a.m., I'm just going to come on here live, hang out with you. I'm always interested. Why is this conference important to you? What are you looking forward to? And I'm also wondering, anybody out there thinks or feels that perhaps you would like to be a dragon speaker or a dragon vendor, or maybe you'd like to buddy up with Julia in the chat. Julia Anchorhaven is our monitor. She always pretty much is live with me anyways, but she's going to be putting in a full day tomorrow. I believe she's hopping on at 8:30. So come hang out with us early. We're going to have a prompt start, 9 a.m. I've got an introduction video, which I'm going to play for you again at some point. It's one of my first videos that I created. There were no tears involved, but it almost came close. I'd really appreciate it if you liked my video, which I'll show you after this schedule. So we've got Rick providing us with sound healing bowls. Of course, yours truly, Gina Virginia Casella. I'll be welcoming you. We're going to light our candles, open up sacred space. We're going to have a journey into the pine tree forest. It's going to take a good 10 minutes. So just a real sinking in, setting into the present moment. You know me. If you don't know me by now, once you get me talking, I don't stop. So it's another reason why tomorrow was a very focused day. And I won't be spending too much time welcoming others because I have a nice little video that I created that you'll have to wait until tomorrow to see, that formally welcomes and thanks you. And I believe I played that video yesterday when I was live. So go check out my video yesterday if you feel like you can't wait till tomorrow. After I present, Michael Cope. And Michael, his last name is spelled Kopf, F like frog, fantastic, frank, friend, foolish one. I can't think of any more F words right now, appropriate F words. But I've been spelling Michael's name with a T on the end, and every time I think I get it right, I don't have it right. And so I flip-flopped, spelling it with a T, spelling it with an F. Sometimes I think I'm losing my mind because the font, even though I push F, the font makes it look like it's a T because it's fancy. So let me know if anybody else out there can relate. Michael and I just having some laughs behind the scenes. And if you notice anything where I've misspelled Michael's name, let me know so I can change it. The correct spelling is F on the end. So Michael is going to be talking about the hero's journey. I can't get enough of the hero's journey. I'm really looking forward to Brian's presentation on community. Brian Rue, Chris Latieur, MK Ultra, Alex Lipton talking to us about monotheism. A lot of people don't know what that word means. And honestly, I forget what that word means all the time. It basically means one God. I always think it means something else. And it's just not a word that I use often. So at any time during the presentations, not right now, but during the presentations, if presenters are using words that you're not familiar with, something I like to do is just grab my cell phone and ask my cell phone what that word means. And I've even done that as a teacher at meetings. And most of the time I surprise myself. I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that word means. I didn't realize it was called that, you know. But if you require clarification or somebody says something that interests you, as the presenter's presenting, get it in the chat, because after each presenter, depending on the length of their presentation, they're going to have opportunity for at least a few Q&As, hopefully some follow-up. If we run out of time, you can always put those in the free Facebook group, the Dragon Dreams Soul Tribe Collective. So, and I also thought, um, I have a question for Alex tomorrow, if I remember, but I'm interested because his uncle, Bruce Lipton, talks about the biology of belief. And Alex called his presentation the administration of belief. And I thought, ooh, there's something interesting there going on. I don't know. What are other people thinking? um, because the administration of belief makes me think things like programming. And it also makes me think things like, um, like it's nice to believe in things, but then you need to have that objective administrator hat on. So I'm always jam packed full of questions. But it's important for me that the questions come from you, the Dragon Dreamers. I mean, I can talk to Alex or any of the presenters any old time, but it'd be really important for me to be checking in with the chat tomorrow. Julia's going to be there with you, helping to sift through comments, questions, and make sure that we can get in as much as we possibly can. Suze Gallagher, you just saw Suze with us, Dreaming Ourselves Awake. Love the title of that. And before you know it, the day's going to be over. I'll be thanking everybody. We're going to return from the pine tree forest. The return from the pine tree forest is about 4 minutes. And then we're going to close sacred space. Rick's going to perform for us one final time. And that'll be it. Like when I look at this, I think, really, is this like what? 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. And but yeah, like that's what it looks like and sounds like. I like this presentation, just the way it looks, the green and white. It's nice and clear, it's clean looking, but then my schedule has all the extra information on it, like what videos that I need to put on. So mine is really messy looking, yet organized. It's organized disorganization. Those of you who have leadership administration backgrounds, let me know in the comments if you can relate. And on that note, if you're interested in joining the Dragon Dreams Executive Committee, please reach out to yours truly, Gina Virginia Casella. Right now, it's me, myself, and I. That's it. And I had a little laugh because I won't say the name, but there was actually a few people in the last week who are like, hey, Gina, do you need any help hosting your conference? And I blatantly said, no. Why? Because you got to be kidding me if you think that now I've done all the work and whatnot, that you're just going to hop on here and, put on a smiling face. Yeah, right. So again, let me know, administrators and folks who have leadership backgrounds, if you can relate, because, had people offered to co-host with me before, then you would have had some workload, right? So this is passion driven. Nobody's getting paid any money. So if you're interested in supporting the conference, you can support the conference by following me absolutely for free on Buy Me a Coffee. That way you get into all the hype that's going on. I post on Buy Me a Coffee almost daily, and then I cross post it onto Facebook. There's our community Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. That's also free to join. And you know what? Not everybody has money. It's not always about money, but just liking, sharing, subscribing to my YouTube, that is very helpful because it helps with the algorithms. If you have money to randomly, you want to send me 20 bucks here and there, you can do that on Buy Me a Coffee. You don't have to commit to a monthly membership. If maybe you'd really like to book a private with me, but it's out of your price range, well, the good news is the last Friday of every month, I go live doing Dreaming with Gemstone Gina. So you make a donation, whatever you want, and I provide you with a mini gemstone reading. So it's not very popular right now. So it's a really good time, the last Friday of the month, if you want a turn, because before you know it, we're just going to be like running out of time. But it's a marathon, a monthly marathon, because I'm committed the last Friday of every month to keep going, even if it takes me all night to get through all those donations. So why do I do this? Well, you're enough. Things are available to you. You're the same as everyone else. So I know with my own learning journey, I've always appreciated free resources and or affordable opportunities. And so I want you to know these are the affordable and or free ways for you to get involved. Now, if you wanted to get involved on a monthly basis, I work with Pull Energy. So check out my Buy Me a Coffee. It's in the description. It's also right here in the comments. Buy me a coffee. Check it out for yourself. There are privates that I offer, but there's the collective membership. And if you look at the 5 bonuses, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because one of them relates to the conference. This first conference, it's the first one ever, so it's free. But I decided, you know what? Every year, the first one of the year, which is called Promise of Spring, will be an annual tradition where it's absolutely free, because that's how much I'm committed to really striving to make sure that there's something for you to view and to fall back on, and that you have a community to connect with, because I know what it's like, and a lot of Dragon Dreamers know what it's like not to have a community. Like, it's one thing to have a community, but it's another to have a soul tribe that this kind of stuff, you know, folks get you. You're not alone. And of course, if you wanted to make a substantial donation, Buy Me a Coffee does limit. But if you wanted to make a substantial donation because you're in a financial position to do so, just send me a private message. I'll send you a Stripe link. And it would be really cool if folks donated money for the conference, for the movies being made, but also so that Dragon Dreamers who are really desperate, and I don't like using that word, but there's some Dragon Dreamers who are desperate to have a session, if not with me, with someone like me, somebody who does energy medicine, somebody who does mind reprogramming. And so you see, everything is merging together. So there's 4 online conferences every year, and I'm hopeful to have one in the summer every year. So there's so much to look forward to. Let me show you some of my other stuff here. Speaking of the other conferences, if you wanted to take a snapshot of the screen here, these dates are all set in stone except for the summer conference. So the first one here in green, Promise of Spring, it's online, it's absolutely free. The other ones you do have to pay for, but check out the Buy Me a Coffee collective membership. I work with Pull Energy, so you go and find it on Buy Me a Coffee. And if you feel like, yes, I see what she's talking about, register for your collective. And the full moon is upon us, so I'm looking forward to the bonuses in particular. Okay, what do I want to do now? Now I want to show you the special video that I created. I realized Michael Kopp, he was getting excited, and he's like, "Do you want me to create a promo video?" And it's like, I do, but I don't really have time to like have a back and forth conversation with you about, what I want and how I'm envisioning it. And he made me realize that there's a need for me to have a special theme song, a theme video. And so no tears were involved in the making of this video. It came close a number of times. Initially, it was a lot longer. Power and Simplicity. It's about a minute long. And as the years go by, It's going to be the same video that I play all the time, but it's going to have like an updated, updated slides about the schedule and whatnot. Otherwise, I think the cartoons are absolutely fabulous. I used Canva in my description. You can find information if you want to sign up for any of the stuff that I use, StreamYard, Canva, Hoover to get your domain. That information I provide because it might help you save some money. But let me show you the video now. It's only a minute long. Okay, where is it? All right, here it is. I hope you enjoy it. Let me remove myself from the screen. And after the video, I want to show you my candles and talk about panpipe. I hope you enjoyed the video. Honestly, I just love it. I love that video. I love the retro cartoons. I was having fun on Canva, but it did come to a point where it's like I'm not having fun anymore. I need to like finish this video. So let me know if you can relate in the comments. And it made me feel really hopeful because now that I have a bit of a grip on things, building the familiarity, like all my content is merging together, and ideally I'm supposed to create movies. I was hopeful that I would have a mini movie ready for you, but it wasn't realistic. But you know what, the next conference I might just have multiple mini videos for you, and I feel really excited. I never in a million years thought that I would make movies, let alone host a conference. I never thought I would become an energy medicine practitioner. Actually, I'm a master energy medicine practitioner. I didn't even realize I registered for the master's course. It was intense, to be fair, but now I know why it was intense. It was the master's program, and I always share this information with people. You know why? Because I was that kid that went to the special education classroom when I was a kid. And that's what my presentation is about tomorrow. It's about me, and there I am. I'm in grade 2. Everything is seemingly normal. And one night, 2 angels come out of my wall. It scared the daylights out of me. It caused trauma. It was confusing, just the whole experience in itself. My world didn't make sense anymore. Things are not supposed to come out of the wall. Um, I didn't make sense anymore to my world. My vision and hearing flip flopped. Um, imagine, just imagine there was a community like this, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. Imagine somebody was like, "Hey, 7-year-old Gina, you might be interested in this soul tribe, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective," right? So the power of story medicine, I can't get enough of the medicine. And I feel a sense of relief because, I enjoy teaching, I enjoy sharing my thinking, but I'm at a point in my life, I don't know if anyone else out there can relate, but I feel like I'd like to provide a platform at this point to create safer spaces so that other people can take the microphone and share their story medicine. And that's exactly what's happening. And I feel really honored about it. This is my first time hosting a conference completely. The whole entire thing was planned and is being carried out by yours truly. And if anybody out there, like I mentioned earlier, is interested in joining, the Dragon Dreams Executive Committee, you can join me. And I guess Rosie here is interested. Cozy Rosie, her nails, they're doing okay. When you follow me on Buy Me a Coffee, absolutely for free, you get in on Hype. Rosie, I've been taking her to the vet extra lately. She's got some kind of fungus thing going on with her nails. So we've got a temporary routine in the morning where I have to like wipe her nails down. Um, so hopefully it's just temporary. You can bet Rosie will be here tomorrow. Hi, Sawyer. I see you there in the chat. And Faith, good to see you. Anchor Haven was here earlier too. Let me know in the chat, why is tomorrow important to you, this conference? What drew you to me? What is it about me or my content that keeps pulling you back? Because I work with pull energy. And I made a little note here, but I don't remember what note I said. Yes, trees shapeshift. So in the video, the theme video, there's one part where it looks like the trees disappearing. Like it looks like some little character does something, puts something on the tree and it disappears. And then there's another tree over there that disappears. And when you watch the video at glance, you might think, oh no, the forest is being destroyed or disappearing or something like that. It's kind of scary. That's not what's going on. The trees are shape shifting. The people, you're in there. The dog monkey folk, they're shape shifting. So yeah, it's supposed to be a little bit not scary, but in a unfamiliar secrets and mysteries, something that stirs within you, fun, exciting, scary. That's the intention that I was going for. So let me know if you like the video. I feel too that when it comes to theme songs and theme videos, intros, outros, it's best not to change them. And then it's fun because in like 40 years from now, when I'm in my 80s, and it's that video that's still, it's like the torch that gets carried on. So let me know if you can relate in the comments. What I want to do now is I want to show you um, my candles. So there's two of them, and I'll show you how I did this. This is the first one, and I got to take my background off so you can see it better. But I think like this, it's fine. So there's a heart shape here. So I carved into my candle. Right here, there's an arrow. It's pointing down. So the arrow is important to me because the dragon's tail is the shape of an arrow. When we do fire ceremony, it's the death arrow that goes into the fire. There's lots to be said about the arrow, just the aiming, the isosceles triangle, taking the deep dive. There's too much to be said about it for me personally. Let me know in the comments what arrows mean to you. Arrows also representing the masculine. Going back to the heart for me is special because it represents a lot of things. It represents the lovers, two heads, but it also represents the half spin particle. So I don't have a science background, but there's something special. I'm still figuring it out in my dream world. Something special about this business of the half spin particle. And because it's shaped like a question mark, the top of a question mark, it throws off the weight. So on a literal biological level, it creates a spinning action. It's not just a feather floating around. There's one part is heavier, and that creates the spinning. And that spinning to me is representative of time being circular and both linear. I also did a picture, just to go back to the heart. So beside the heart, I did a spiral. It was really challenging to carve that spiral in there. And then the Venn diagram, because I'm a big fan of the Venn diagram. And what I did is I had a rose, and some of the petals were left over dehydrated. So I crushed it up and then I jammed it in here, which it got the job done. And what I like to do is I did this probably, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. And then I've got this box here, and I've just got stuff from the summertime. Rosie, I'm growing her cat grass indoors, so I just trimmed it the other day. And what I did is I put my candle in here, just like putting it to bed, and I let it sleep and I let it dream away. And now for the past, I don't know, week or so, it's been out, and I keep playing with it. So the little pictures that I have on there, um, it's coming off. And also, at one point, the wick, this part came out, and I put it back in. So I'm not going to play with this anymore. It's special for the conference tomorrow. But I want to show you my other one, and I'm going to get my hands dirty here and show you how I did it. So this one here, this other candle, there's nothing on the top, if you were wondering. This one here, it does have something on the top. It says um, P30 for Project 30, IUC, Isis Unity Consciousness. And just like my other candle, I did these at the same time. So um, I've been playing with it and it's coming off now, but I'm going to get my hands dirty and redo it and show you how I did it. It's so easy. And then I put DDSTC, Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. So what is the point of me telling you this? Well, tomorrow we're going to open Sacred Space, and there's going to be a moment where I light a candle, and I'm going to invite you to also light your candle. Now, if you don't have a candle, no problem. That was part of my BMAC post this morning, because whatever I'm doing, it's on behalf of you as well. So when I'm lighting my candle, that's you lighting your candle too. And at the end of the conference, everybody's going to, like at the beginning of the conference, when we open up Sacred Space, we're going to set an intention. And at the end of the conference, we're going to revisit that intention. We're going to remind ourselves about things that we're thankful for, things that we'd like to let go. We're going to blow it into a stick. If you have a toothpick, or those little shish kebab sticks, this for me is very ideal. When I burn incense, this is what's left. And I just keep these and I use it exactly for fire ceremony. So the end of the conference for closing ceremony, we're going to do just that. So um, um, keep a stick handy. And again, no stick, no problem. I'm going to hold my stick up to the camera, believe it or not, but I will stop talking at some point. And then you can blow whatever you need to blow in here. And if you don't have words, or maybe you have words, but you're too pissed off and it's not coming out right, you don't ever have to worry about that kind of stuff or forgetting to mention something. You just blow the emotion. So you can use words, not use words. If you want to take tonight and do a special journaling activity, so then tomorrow when we do this, you maybe you want to pull out your little journal and read what you did. So I can't wait for tomorrow for all of these reasons, because I do this kind of stuff by myself all of the time. And um, I might attend a webinar with my shamanic colleagues and engage in a fire ceremony, something like that with them. So it's my honor to carry the torch on and do this with my own community now in Soul Tribe. And I don't know if folks out there caught it earlier, but the Soul Tribe, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe, is growing. Folks all ages are coming, and from all different kinds of backgrounds and experiences. A lot of the Dragon Dreamers, they don't know who to turn to. And I don't think people are shy. I think people are not certain. They're a bit hesitant. So it would mean a lot to me if you moseyed on over to the free Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, and got in on the member engagement. I post questions on there, and you could take a picture of your candle and put it in there. You'll see my post on there from Buy Me a Coffee. But anyways, let me show you. My eyes itchy. Every time Rosie comes, there's like little hair that flies around, right? Let me just put Sue's book to the side. This was Sue's book, The Little Ones, and her um, information is in the comments and also in the description. I just want to make sure I don't get her book dirty. Okay, so let me show you how I did this. So after I burn my incense, I keep the ashes. You can use flower petals like I did with the one candle. Just make sure they're dehydrated and you crush them. If you wanted to put food coloring in it, do that before and then crush them. But honestly, I find ashes work the best. So I just collect my ashes here. And you could also use cigarette ashes, or if you're having a campfire, grab ashes from the campfire, bring it home. It's fun to have different colors. Okay, so um, I got a new candle here and it's ready to go. And just to keep things simple, there's nothing carved in here, but just to keep it simple, uh, what I like to do is work with guidance. So why don't we make um, um, a T shape like this, okay? And we'll just leave it like that. Keep it nice and simple. This T shape to me is important because it reminds me of my spirit tools in my dream life. Those of you not familiar, there's lots that you'll have to get familiar with, but in my dream life, I'm the unmake, and well, I'm a lot of things. That's one of the many things. And I have this tool. It's two sticks that are tied together, and it looks like a cross. Sometimes it's like an X. And in my dream life, this was way before Jesus, way before religion. So it wasn't a cross like the Holy Cross. It was literally a T shape or an X. And it's really special to me because I used it as a boomerang to get like fruit and stuff from trees. I would also use it to dig or to fish. I would use it as like a dowser to help me find water. It's just an endless tool. I could use it as a utensil, like a knife and a fork to cut with. And in my dream life, guess what I was doing? Dreaming with gemstones. So this business of dreaming with gemstone, Gina, is just a carryover from my past lives. And working with the medicine wheel, even though it's not a circle shape, it creates 4 quadrants. So the quadrants can look like this, or it can be the X shape. So depending on what I'm doing or what games I'm playing, if you will, sometimes I want the X, sometimes I want the T. So there's much to be said about this. So you might look at it and think, oh yeah, she drew a cross, big deal. Well, yeah, it is a big deal. And those are the reasons why. So let me know in the free Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, what do the symbols mean on your cross? So let me bring it down here now. I'm going to have to take my background off. My bed's made. And you know what? I made a little note to myself to test out the break background. So let me just test that out while I have this here. Okay, in theory, my background should have changed. Okay, so tomorrow, when there's a break, there's going to be a 20-minute break between speakers, and I'm going to play a little video of myself. A lot of people ask me, what does that gemstone mean? And what is about that gemstone? So I'm going to make little mini videos about that. They'll be maybe 5 to 7 minutes long. And when we're on break, I'm going to have this in the background. That way, because I know people are going to be tuning in right from the beginning, right till the end. But we're also going to have people that, you know what, they got to go to work and stuff like that. And they're going to be tuning in and out all day. So tomorrow, help me remember to put that up. when we're doing a break. Okay, let me take it down now so I can show you my candle. And I just love coming on here live and hanging out with you all. It's just a bit informal. Tomorrow will be formal. I'll be having a schedule. Okay, my bed is made. And let me tilt this down. Okay. This here is my lizard lady blanket. Uh-oh, where did my pin go? Right here. Okay. So as you can see, I have the T shape, and I always recommend doing it on top of something because the wax, it gets everywhere, right? So ideally, you have this. If you have one of those pens that's like a carving pen, that's ideal. If you don't, just a little pin like this does the trick, and you just scratch away. You don't need to go very deep. It's kind of like pumpkin carving in the sense, like you could make it a point for some lines to be deeper or thicker. I keep it simple. And one problem that I run into is as I do this, I start to forget, like, where did I carve? So it's really handy for me personally to take a permanent marker. You can use washable, but it doesn't, it kind of looks dotted. And but if you use the permanent marker, it stays on nice and clear. And I find I'm going down, 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 down. I'm just going really fast, but I'm going down, down, down because going up, um, you'll figure it out. Down, 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 and then up, down to like smooth it out. Down, down, down. Oh. And if you get excited, you might go whoop like that. So you just want to do a little bit at a time. And let me know in the comments, even if you catch the replay in 20 years from now, I'd still love to know in the comments what techniques you use to decorate your candles, what kind of carving tools you use, why are you decorating candles. If somebody dies, I might put like their initials on the top and then burn the candle in honor of them. Uh, Sometimes, if I'm working with manifestation, I'll carve a candle, I'll let it dream, I'll wait till a certain date to burn it. Okay. So, you know what? You want to keep the designs big. You don't want too much detail. But you know what? If you have time, then this is a really nice activity to do. So I hope those of you who are watching can appreciate uh, me trying to make the spiral here, which I think I'm going to give it a dose of this just to make it stand out more. See, look, the thing's coming out from the bottom. Stay in there. Okay. Let me know if you're living vicariously through me right now as I carve this candle. I absolutely love watching cooking shows and gardening shows. I love watching people outdoors making a fire, making shelters, and I live vicariously. I just sit there and take it all in. I remember one time when I moved into a condo, I was feeling really sad about not having a backyard. So I watched a lot of gardening videos that summer, and it just made me feel connected, living vicariously through others. Okay, I got one more to do. And it has happened to me where this thing just came out. So If you're planning on taking this out in nature, maybe bring a backup tool for carving. Okay. And my hand is getting a bit cramped. I have blocky hands. I never thought anything of it, but when I started studying palmistry, it was like, oh, I think this is like clues to past lives I've had. Tiller of the earth folk like myself tend to have blocky hands. Uh, Developmentally, it's not like one species is smarter than the other, but developmentally, I wasn't that species that had long fingers that did like science stuff. I was that species that had blocky hands, and I tilled the earth, I moved things. I have all kinds of interesting dreams. And, blocky hands, it's also like elephant hands. So if you picture like an elephant hand, the circle going around. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good. I think this could be a bit deeper right there. Okay, and I think just because I'm having fun, I think it might be cool just to put like some dots. One, two, three, four. And my dots are not as deep as my cross. So you could have a lot of fun doing this. Um, as a teacher, I taught a lot of kindergarten and elementary, and I always loved in the springtime taking the kids outside and we would decorate rocks, we would paint rocks, and depending on the age and their fine motor skills, the little ones, sometimes they would just color, like they would paint one whole entire rock one color. In the last school that I worked at, I don't know if they continued this or not, but it was my idea to make a medicine wheel out of rocks. And so I divided my class into four to represent the four colors: red, yellow, black, and white. And then the school, we had a staff meeting, was looking for something special the whole school could do. And I was like, well, why don't you just get in on my medicine wheel project? And I also wanted to make like the rainbow color because there was a lot of hype to make safer, inclusive spaces for LGBTQ2 plus spirited. Um, but anyways, the point I wanted to make is that rock painting is fun, even if you're painting the one rock, one color, and then you make a design out of it. Okay. So once you put the ashes on, you could spend more time carving it, but you want to set yourself up for success. So there's just some black now on here. Let me just carve that away. Okay. And I'm just going to put this in my little garbage over here. So this is the coolest part now, okay? So if you wanted to, you could just roll it in here. It looks cool, but then it doesn't burn very well. So what you do is you just um, take your ashes. This is from my incense, and you just put it like that. Okay. You can see my cross. You can see the four dots. And I'm finished. So again, I mean, if I wanted to take the time and roll it around in here, I could, but I'm telling you, it doesn't burn as nice. So there's my candle. I'll save it for tomorrow to light with you. And let me just redo this one here. This one here, seen better days. There we go. There. And this one is just going to be kind of on purpose. It's going to, there. Looks a lot better. So be prepared for your hands to get dirty. This one here, like I said, I used the red rose petals, but I'm going to put some of this on here to really make it stand out. You live and you learn. Like I mentioned earlier, I really like the ashes. And if you wanted to be like really strategic about where you were putting stuff, you could do that. So tomorrow you can be like, I was there with her live when she was doing that. Stands out much more. My Venn diagram. There. So I love how this looks. It looks like it's some kind of ancient little, right? You can see it a lot better now. It's the heart for the half spin particle, time, circular, linear, Venn diagram, the arrow for the dragon's tail, the death arrow, the masculine, this here, the dragon dream, soul, tribe, collective, P30 for project 30, and then also IUC, Isis Unity Consciousness, and then the candle that I just did live with you folks today. There's the T shape, representative of my tool when I was the unmaker in my dream life, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 dots just for random decoration at the end. So in the free Facebook group, I would absolutely love if you took a picture of your candles. Let me just grab a Kleenex here, give my hands a little wipe. I'm almost done. I got a little list of things that I want to show you. So let me just tidy up here. Okay, that can go there. This is definitely, you don't want to wear white when you're doing this activity, that's for sure. Okay, let me just put my other background on. And tomorrow when I'm live, you can help me remember to mute myself when presenters are talking, and you can also help me to remember to make sure my background is on, and making sure that you can hear me and see me okay. Be really helpful. Okay, I got a little list here. What else do I want to show you? I showed you my videos. We did the candle thing. Those of you who are just tuning in now, Suze Gallagher was hanging out with us. So catch the replay, catch the first hour. That's Suze Gallagher was with us, highlighting her book, The Little Ones. Buy me a coffee. Make sure you check it out. Get in on the collective membership. It's absolutely free to follow me, and then you get in on this kind of stuff, right? The candle hype, that was something special that Buy Me a Coffee members have been tuning into. The schedule, I showed you that. Chat check-in, I'm looking at the chat. Nobody answered my questions. If you don't answer them right now, put them in the free Facebook group, the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective. Think about it tonight, sleep on it. Tomorrow, put your answers in the live chat, because I want to know Why is this conference important to you? What are you looking forward to? And if you think that you'll be presenting at one of the future conferences, what would you present on? Maybe you're interested in providing healing like Rick Gallagher is. What kind of healing would you provide us with? Maybe you're interested in hanging out with Julia in the chat. Why would you be what would make you a really great dragon monitor? What do you have to offer us? And be certain of your uncertainty, because I'm taking in all the story medicine, Bigfoot stories, Virgin Mary sightings, AI, hybrids, ET agenda, all of it, all of it. And I don't investigate anything. That's the real power about story medicine within the Dragon Dream Soul Tribe Collective, because we're in search of truth, but we're in search of our own truth and what makes sense to us, and having the humility to admit that ultimately nobody, including ourselves, knows what we're talking about. So, like those two angels that came out of my wall when I was in grade 2, I don't know what those were. When I was a kid, I called them angels, but now I'm thinking those might be ET, possibly AI hybrid folk, technology, really not sure. But the best vocabulary that I can come up with are angels. When I say angels, people know what I'm talking about, right? So um, I'm no different than the next guy telling a Bigfoot story. So this Dragon Room Soul Tribe community is very important to me personally for all kinds of reasons, especially so that you know that you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not losing your mind. The supernatural is very natural. The paranormal is very normal. And there's nothing strange about high strangeness other than the fact that we think it's strange. So the last thing on my list to show you uh, is the presenters' titles. So let me just pull that up for you now. I got each one here. Okay. This is in alphabetical order. This isn't in the order that they're presenting in. So Alex Lipton, I'm going to stand and deliver. I'm going to read this word for word. Alex's presentation is called The Administration of Belief, Monotheism Origins. So tomorrow when I welcome the presenters, I'm going to welcome them reading biography. I'm going to display this, but I'm not going to be reading it. So it gives me a lot of pleasure and honor to take the time to do that today. So what's Alex's presentation going to be about? The description: a brief overview of history, philosophy, and human experiences. We will attempt to discover one of the greatest questions pertaining to belief and knowledge. What exactly is God, and how do we relate to it? Interesting. Alex called it God and it. Interesting. Alex's title, The Administration of Belief. His uncle Bruce, Dr. Bruce Lipton, uh, would he call this the biology of belief? I think it's interesting. Administration of belief, biology of belief. We'll see what Alex has to say about that tomorrow. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but I don't think anything's coincidence anymore. Let me bring you to the next description. Brian Rue presentation is called Community. And let me go back to Alex for a moment. Sorry. Okay, hold on, because I made it a point to have the presenters provide me with a little. If you look in the pink here, I asked every presenter, tell me something about dreams or some kind of message about hope, peace. What would you tell to your younger child self? So I want to read what Alex wrote here. Dreams are extremely interesting, especially in the context of how we place them in our reality. Are they just subconscious projections, or are they experiences of something very real? Perhaps they are a kind of technology that we yet have not yet activated. Waking up can be done within a dream. And that's the key to knowing yourself. So you can look forward to Alex Lipton presenting tomorrow. Now I will show you Brian Rue, our other dragon speaker, speaking on community. The description for Brian's presentation. Strong, healthy communities allow us to approach the mysteries together while creating safer spaces to share and grow. The community becomes a living classroom where we learn from each other collectively. Individuals are encouraged to participate, and this collaborative process inherently fosters trust. And Brian, he had a special message for us. If you're reading along with me, this is the part that's in pink. Community networking expands discussions, continue to, as community networking expands, discussions continue to evolve, nurturing humility, since many of the answers remain uncertain. Community allows us to be seen, to be heard, to listen to others, and to thrive. Another dragon speaker, Chris Latour. His presentation description, the title is called MK Ultra Monarch Survivor and Former Montauk Boy, Chris Latour. I will be talking about my personal life experience in the MK Ultra sub-project known as the Monarch Project and the last moments of Camp Hero on the Montauk Chair. And Chris's special message, everyone has psychic abilities. And of course, yours truly, my presentation is called The Gnome King. Did you have a dream or did the dream have you? So all seems well until we get the spooks and or face the stigmas of mental health. What happens when the world around us doesn't make sense anymore? What happens when we don't make sense anymore? You're not alone. And my special message, I hope you have the courage to be yourself and to be all you can be. I'm almost finished here, just a few more to go, and then I'll be saying goodbye to you. Looking forward to tomorrow. Julia Ankerhaven, she's presenting, but she's our wonderful, delightful dragon monitor. So you can look forward to hanging out with Julia in the chat. So since Julia is not presenting, I put her bio here in white. Julia Ankerhaven is a world traveler, Akashic Oracle weaver, pendulum alchemist, violet flame Reiki master, teacher, sound practitioner, quantum crystal healer, and retreat facilitator. She identifies as a MyLab and Secret Space program survivor, currently exploring and documenting fragmented memories linked to clones, stargates, and alleged involvement in cohort classified projects on and off planets. And Julia's special message, it's in the pink if you're following along. In these changing times, it is important to center our energies, to focus on the beauty within and around us, asking the question, what else is possible here? I love that. What else is possible here? Really opening our minds. I've got a few more here. Another dragon speaker, Michael Cope. Power and mythos of the hero's journey. Join me on a journey into what the hero's journey is and how it impacts our lives. Join me on an adventure to see from a glimpse what my hero's journey looks like and sounds like from my life experiences. Michael's special message, dreams are visions in our true selves. I got to pull this closer. Dreams are visions into our true selves. Dreams open our minds to potentials we could not find or believe possible with our conscious mind. Dreams are keys that help us find our true path in life and unlock our inner truth about ourselves. You know, I have to have a little laugh as I'm going over these because I pre-recorded in advance welcoming the presenters and their biographies, and I'm glad I did. This slide, I'm going to show it to you tomorrow, but I'm not going to read it to you tomorrow. So it's special to share it with you today. And if you have a question about why the presenters wanted to call their presentation what they called it, if you want more insight about the pink, their special message here, that's something that you can definitely fall back on. I've got two more to show you. Rick Gallagher. Rick is not presenting. He's providing healing for us. So, who is Rick Gallagher? Rick is a master, Reiki master and teacher, certified in sound healing. For decades, Rick has conducted one-to-one healing sessions, has performed sound healing bowl concerts for churches and groups around the country. Rick has slowly adapted from the Tibetan metal singing bowls to the crystal bowls and audio recordings. And Rick's special message is, you are loved. So Rick's got all kinds of bowls. And it was interesting having a conversation with him because I have this, which is the kind of bowl that Rick has transitioned to. But I guess maybe I was a little bit too rough with mine. Mine has a crack in it. It still works. But I was thinking maybe I should invest in a tin metal type bowl. That way, I don't have to worry about it cracking. But then I thought it was interesting that Rick moved from the metal singing bowl. So um, I just find it really fascinating. Let me know in the comments if you also find it fascinating. And um, Suze Gallagher and Rick Gallagher, they actually paid money to have a big billboard on the side of the highway that says, "You are loved." And there's no advertisement or incentive or anything like that. It's just, you are loved. So they're not making money from the sign. It's just a beautiful message. And they also have a YouTube website, and people comment on there about how reading that every day, or just people who are not even from the area, they see that sign and it really means a lot to them. And I'm always saying, you matter, you're enough, things are available to you. And then when I met Rick and Suze, they're all like, you are loved. And I'm like, cool. Like we each have our one-liners and they're in alignment with each other. So that was really cool. And last but not least, Suze Gallagher. I read this earlier, but I'll read it again just for the sake of flow and consistency here. I love the title of Sue's presentation, Dreaming Ourselves Awake, Answering the Invitation. And the description, ancient cultures, Rosie's getting jealous. It's about 2 hours now. Ancient cultures believed that we dream our lives into existence. Dreams offer a portal to awakening. However, it is up to us to answer the invitation. Dreams have been a powerful tool in my personal awakening, highlighting my path, fostering courage, guiding me through the living labyrinth to discover my life's purpose, becoming an oracle. And if you didn't catch the first hour of today's live, make sure you go back and watch the replay, because Suze and I spent a good 40 minutes talking about her presentation description. We had a real delightful conversation about dreams. And Suze, her special message is she lovingly invites you to ask yourself, what are your dreams inviting you to do? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Those are all the slides that I have to show you. And I'm feeling excited right now because as soon as I log off, I'm hopping in the car and I'm going to print stuff. What stuff? The master schedule for tomorrow. So last Friday, the presenter, it wasn't mandatory, but if people wanted to test out their equipment, make sure that it was working. Last Friday, we had a live tech rehearsal, and we found it was better when the presenters put it on screen share. So just right here, right now, it wasn't on screen share, and it was smaller. I had to come closer to the screen. So all these little tips and tricks are really paying off for tomorrow to have a fun, fluid, flowy day. There's going to be, I'll show you the presenter schedule again quickly here. This is the schedule. It is set in stone. So at those designated times, you can look forward to presenters presenting. Each presenter is going to have a few minutes for some Q&A, and then we're going to have a 20-minute break in between presenters. There's no formal lunch period. It's online. So 20 minutes, I feel like that's a good enough time frame. Give us time behind the scenes to transition, and also give you an opportunity, go to the bathroom, make sure you're staying hydrated. And on that note, I was asking in a post earlier in Buy Me a Coffee, which gets cross-posted to Facebook, to let us know, how are you planning and preparing? Let us know about your candles, take pictures, post it in the Facebook group. Let us know what snacks you're planning on snacking on. Let us know if you have any pets that are going to be hanging out with you. I know Rosie's going to be hanging out with us. And I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. So in closing, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a real honor for me and joy to spend some time with you today, hanging out with our conference virtual vendor, Suze Gallagher. You can get her book, The Little Ones. The link, it's inside the comment section, and you can also find it in the details. Buy Me a Coffee, you can find that. So tomorrow, the link isn't set up yet. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to set up the link live. You'll be able to find that link on my Buy Me a Coffee. So when I'm hosting something, creating something, the day of, that's when you can find it. And also, you want to mosey on over to my YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn your notifications on. That way, when I do go live, if it's random, if you're not following me on Buy Me a Coffee, which is absolutely free to follow me, then at least you don't have to worry about missing anything, right? So those are my recommendations. Buy Me a Coffee and YouTube, GinaVirginiaCasella.com. I do have one website to rule them all, GinaVirginiaCasella.com. But again, all the hype is on Buy Me a Coffee, and then I use YouTube. I use Rumble as well. They have a lot of commercials, and I'm not being monotonized by them, not yet. So let me know what platforms you're using. I also use BitChute. So we're figuring it out, right? Ideally, I don't want to have 500 platforms on the go. I'm working with Pole Energy. So let me know what you use, so I could make it a point to make it work. I'm all about simplicity. So thank you so much, Dragon Dreamers, for your time today. It was really nice to hang out with you, and I'm really looking forward to our conference tomorrow. I'm going to be waking up early tomorrow, and 8 a.m. I'm going to be live right here on YouTube, hanging out with you. And the presenters, they're not going to be live with me. They're going to be hiding. And when it's their turn to present, that's when they're going to be formally brought to the stage. So tomorrow, it's going to be a very structured day, and I'm looking forward to it. And again, I'd love to know in the comments what you're looking forward to tomorrow. Why is this conference important to you? And if you see yourself being involved at the next conference or a future conference, let us know how you would like to be involved. If you were to present, what would you present on? If you were to provide healing, what kind of healing would you provide? If you were to join the Dragon Dreams Executive, what kind of ideas do you have to share? What do you have to offer? Are you good at making Canva videos? I could really use your help making some movies. So this is all passion driven. None of the presenters are getting paid any money. Any money that comes through Buy Me a Coffee goes into my pockets. That helps to pay for my administration and overhead fees, things like Canva. It's free for me to have Buy Me a Coffee. It's free for me to have YouTube, but there's a lot of other things behind the scenes that I have to pay for. And I'm also in search of an artificial intelligence to help transform my book series into a movie series. And there's lots going on. And the next, this whole year, 2026, is a great unfolding. And I'm really excited because we get to be a part of this co-dream together. So thank you for co-dreaming courageously with me. I look forward to connecting with you tomorrow. And I hope you enjoy this outro video because it's the official video for our conference. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. when the party starts, this video is going to kick it off for us. And it's also going to be the closing video. And I hope you enjoy it. Okay, Dragon Dreamers. Looks like I gotta get some kisses and snuggles in with Rosie. Eh? Let me know how your pet's doing. And I won't see you until tomorrow, 8 a.m. All right, Dragon Dreamers. See you tomorrow, 8 a.m.